Hey there guys, and welcome back. So, this Swiss colony box is where I've been keeping my drill bits and etc. for a long while now. If you read the description to this stream, I had a plan when I first got this set of drill bits to create a special holder for them, and I had a pretty good idea for that I really liked, but unfortunately, I had my Ender 3 at the time, and I did not tune that thing terribly well. And also, it's rather large what I designed, and that made it rather difficult to iterate on. So, between those two things, it never got built. And unfortunately, this is what I've been stuck with. Not the worst solution, but, you know, it's a little bulky, everything rattles around, etc. And I gotta dig through to find the bed I want. So, that's the problem we're solving today. We're making a box for this. I would like to make a really special box, real special case for them. You know, that's kind of fancy like the previous one, but I don't know that I necessarily want to put the time into it right now. I just kind of need something to put these in at this point. I'm frankly getting a little tired of having to dig through finding the 4mm drill bit to drill out holes. So that's what we're doing today. And we will hop on over into Fusion. I'll show you what I had before. So this is the design I had before about 2 years ago, like I said. According to this, 1217. We can double check the, the history. And while that's popping up, there we go. Yeah, so looks like all the work was 2021. So anyway, that being said, what we have here is a cylinder. And it's got basically two main parts. You can ignore the lid. The lid is just there to make sure stuff doesn't fall out. Take the lid off. You can see that we have the drill bits all here. The drill bits are all the same height in theory, because if I remove the body, they all get propped up on 5mm rod. Obviously, the body has 5mm holes for the 5mm rods, and the correct size hole for the rest of the obviously, for the smaller bits. Actually, let me just go ahead and pull that up really quick. Let me do a section analysis. Body, turn that back on. Go. Section analysis. So if we come in here and investigate, as you'll see, for the smaller bits, it goes up to the correct. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So you'll see how the smaller bit, it has this extra little gap in there. So the 5mm rod can still travel up in this, but for the larger diameter, larger diameter drill bits, the 5mm rod will fit inside of the hole for the drill bit, so it doesn't necessarily matter. So, like I said, this is what I had before, and then down here on the bottom, let's go ahead and take this off, and I'll take the front panel off here. Whoops, I meant to clear that off. Hide that, and hide the front panel. So I had these little waves in here, little pegs, whatever you want to call them, and that would lift each one up as it rotated around. So this whole entire base rotated and pushed the drill bit up as you rotated it. And I have obviously two of them for in and out. What I found is this ring right here. I had to put this in because with the 3D print and I guess the steepness of this as well, it just plain was not pushing the drill bit up. Again, a couple factors in between A, design, and B, just the quality of the materials I was working with. And as you can see, well, as you can probably see, a design this complicated took a lot of time to print and iterate on, and also was pretty expensive, relatively expensive, because of how thick everything is, how thick I made everything. So those were really all the problems with this first one that caused it to be a failure, so to say. So anyway, that is the history, so you know where we're coming from and where I would like to get to in the future, but for right now, I have an idea for a solution, at least temporary, and it's a pretty easy solution. Doesn't require too much effort. So we're going to go ahead and start with the body. And actually, I will start this out in its own component. I did a little bit of research, by which I mean I talked to ChatGPT, and from the sounds of it, just stacking the bits is the easiest way to fill a container. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this square for this version instead of round because it's easier to fill, and we'll just stack the bits largest to smallest. And like I said, according to the computer overlord, that should be the easiest way, the most efficient way to fill the space. It may not be the most precise way to fill the space. It may not be the most optimal way to fill the space. But in terms of effort put into results gained, it's more or less the best. So, let's see. You know what? Actually, I have been kind of poaching around here with my explanation on what we're doing. Let's go ahead and actually just draw it out. That way you know where I'm heading with it. I want to grab. I wish this pack didn't come with 2 brown markers. That's kind of silly. It's like a brown and a coffee brown. So anyway, here's where we're heading with this design. So we're going to have a square box. Again, just the easiest way to pack the bits in there. Square box. Bits. And then I'm also going to include my center punch. Okay, so we'll have a hole for the center punch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the holes go all the way through. And I plan on using the center punch to punch the bits out that I want. Basically, I will leave a hole this big in the bottom to punch them out. Now, the one problem with that is obviously, let's grab one really quick. For example, right there. Again, bit's not organized, but this is 3mm bit. That's about that size. So if I make a hole the size of the center punch, this will actually drop out the bottom. So that is one thing I'm going to have to design around. I'm not actually sure where I'm going with that one. For the smaller bits, 3mm and below. The 4mm should be fine. 3.5 I'm not 100% sure on. I think this is max 3mm on the tip here. But that is the one design that we have to accommodate. So this will go ahead and sit in with the box. That way I always have my center punch. And then when I need to take one out, I pull the center punch out. And then use that to poke them in or out through the backside. And then it will have caps on it. And that is the plan. Again, I need something right now. Or rather, I want something right now. So we are going to do our best. Or at least we're going to get something at any rate in the time allotted. We're going to do our best for the time allotted is the best way to put that. So marker back and back to. I'm going to go ahead and leave 3mm plastic around here. The other question is, and I didn't measure this, is the head on my center punch. So the center punch itself is 13mm at its largest, and the head is significantly bigger. The head potentially could go through the top. I haven't really considered how I wanted to handle that one, but that is something I got to consider. For the record, the head diameter is 31, and I'm going to write that down really quick. So 31 and 13. 31 and 13. Easy numbers. With 3mm plastic around each of these, I should be able to call each of these sizes 3mm larger. It's one of these interesting things where, technically speaking, if I line them up, so if I call this, my drill bit set here goes up to 10mm. So if I call this 13, right? And then I end up putting, let's say, the 5mm, which ends up being 8. If we just tangent this, like this, then actually I'm doubling the wall thickness. So it's one of these funny things where probably what I should do is I should call this 1.5 instead of 3. Okay? And then when we butt them up against each other. That will be our 3mm wall thickness. And then I just have to come out here at an offset of 1.5 and we'll be good. That will take care of the border. So let's go ahead and get these in here really quick. Let's see, 9.5 plus 1.5 is 11. Or actually, I should just be going down by half a millimeter time. That makes sense. Don't overthink it. 9. 8.5, not 9.5. We're going down. I skipped 7. Ooh. And we are going down to 2.5 because that would be my 1mm with the offset, with the wall offset. I'm just trying to think really quick. I thought I just thought of a problem. I don't think I did, so I'm not going to worry about it just yet. Might be a problem, but hopefully not. 3, 2, or 2.5. Derp. All right, there we go. That's all of them. And then I also have, as mentioned, the which is minimum 13, center punch, and maximum 31. I'll go ahead and make that and we'll start piling these in here. Again, using the inside line because that does not have the extra wall thickness. And again, this is per ChatGPT saying that first fit is the fastest, which means that you put them in descending order and then just start filling. The one thing is that my box is not of a specific size. So, for example, we have 5 across right now. I have 20 bits, so 5x4 would in theory be something, right? So it may be at this point that I'd be best off bringing this box in at now. And why is it? Huh? Why is the height constrained? What if I kill this offset? Is this offset killing me? No, not that. I should be able to go up and down still. What is going on here? Do I have something stuck? Let's delete this and see what happens. And I'm gonna call this 50. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll leave the center line out for now. Not entirely sure why it doesn't like the center line. Let me drag these guys inside. I should have left them inside to begin with. It was going to get crowded. There's 8.5. I think probably it makes sense to start from this side to follow up on this side. My intuition tells me that anyway. And I'm moving them towards center just because I don't want Fusion to get a weird snappy on it where it thinks that it cannot move. That actually is in the wrong place. So we please rotate. There. Yeah, so this is the first time we have a little gap here. So I guess yeah, so it doesn't want to do that because it will drag that off. So one of those things, back to box stacking, I'm assuming also takes gravity into account. So the box stacking algorithm, I'm assuming, would actually delete this and put this like this, always towards the base. That's my assumption. The other thing to note here is that this is probably not going to end up aesthetically pleasing, which is, relevant. I may want to change how these are stacked in here, depending on what our overall size ends up being. Five next. And I'm probably also going to move them around a little bit because I might want to put the, either in a corner or in the center punch. As it's looking right now, I'm guessing that when I put the center punch in here, it's going to look a lot bigger because it's taking up so much space relative to the overall size of the box. And this is another situation right here, right? Where maybe this 3.5 should have been right here on top of the 7 to be more correct. Because again, gravity. So for example, this 2.5 could be right here. This could be over. And then that 3.5. Oops. Would be over some more. Right, so if I now bring this down and put that there, you can see how we have all this extra space. So back to restacking it so that it looks nice is an option. However, even if I do that, we still don't have a space for this. I don't think we can restack. We might be able to. Might be able to restack it such that this stuff all just slides over. Let's delete these guys. That should allow me to open this up. Looking at it, the head of the center punch can't even fit into this space. Now, if I did make this box the size of that, we might, so if I drag this over, okay, just to demonstrate. So now this is more or less tangent to that, right? And then I remove that. And do I have the top? I do have the top tape. Right. So I'm now looking at this, and remember how I said I'm not going to do a circle? I'm realizing that aside from the bigger ones, like maybe up to the 9 right here, I could fit a lot of little ones underneath and around the center punch, which would save me some space. So I might be undoing a lot of this right now. Again, my intention going into this stream was that I just wanted to get something easy and done with, but the aesthetics of what I'm looking at here is suggesting to me that I maybe should not be so strict with this one. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all this because I'm not even sure we're going to have square box at this point. I think we very well may, but for the time being, I mean, heck, I might even have looking at it, I might have a D shape. What you call it. So, one of those things, I could attempt to fill in all the space like we were just doing, right? Let's see. So the outside, I could leave at 31, and then we just add a 3mm wall on the outside. Here, though, here I want to make to my 1.5. I'm gonna make it 1.5. I could actually instead keep my design consistent and just go 32.5 right here. That would make sense. Oh, no, not that one. 31 here. Where is this one? 14.5. Make this one 14.5. So, obviously, the bigger guys. So, what is the smallest one I can fit in here? Or the largest one, I'm sorry. Largest one I can fit. Try 9. Oh, wait. I can do math, guys. I can do math. So, the 31, I actually want to figure out what 31 minus 14.5... No, actually 31 minus 13, which is 19. No, it's not. I can't do math. Holy crap. 31 minus 13 is 18. Okay. We've established I can do basic math with a calculator. Okay. So anyway, in theory I have 8mm, or 18 is what I can fit in here. And actually what I should do is 31 divided by 2 is 15. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. Did I just close that? No, I didn't. Just because the 31, I'm trying to figure out what is between this ring and this ring, which is 15. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm an idiot. The diameter is 31, which means that the radius is 15.5. The 15.5 minus 14.5 divided by 2 is 8.25. I do have the 1.5 in here, which I probably shouldn't include. So 15.5 minus 13 divided by 2 is 9. So in theory, a 9mm is what I can fit in here, which is 9, 10, 10.5. 10.5 is what I'm looking for. The one labeled 10.5. Slowly get rid of these coincidents. Did I not do a 10.5? Huh. I don't see a 10.5, so it's plenty possible that I actually missed it in the first place. So, 10.5, and I realize now that my whole entire methodology here, so I did 1.5 because I was just thinking about the one, so I was thinking about this situation where this guy is right next to this guy, right? So in between here, we have 1.5 and 1.5 extra, which is a 3mm space. I am an idiot and did not think about this one, so I have 0 on this side and 1.5 on this side, so it should have been +3 the whole entire time. And then the outside corners are just extra, which makes sense because I wanted a 3mm wall on the outside anyway. So, that's a whoops, which means that this is also supposed to be +3, so 16 instead. Because we are doing diameter and not radius. And we will have to fix all these. So 11.5 should be 13. 12.5. This was just 11, right? So this is 9, so this is 12. 11.5. $11. 10.5. 9.5. No. 10. I think I will fix this as we go, actually, rather than doing this all at once. But this is 9.5 now. So the 9mm one is now 12. Is now the 12. And in theory, if I put this there, let me draw a 9mm back in here. Yeah, see, that's too big, so I definitely screwed something up. Oh, actually, let me change this to 34. No, it still doesn't fit. Okay. So we can fail at basic math, that's fine. And all that means is I just start grabbing until I fit. That's really all it means. So I already have 3mm on this, which means that whatever one fits clearly between this line and that line will be fine. Because actually, whichever one fits with only 1.5, because I'm going to put, unless I increase this. Yeah, unless I increase this. So let me actually do this instead, just to make sure that we're all in. So whatever I pick up needs to be plus 1.5. Yeah, so it's got to be one with 1.5 in there. So let's just grab this guy really quick, and I think that guy is it. Yeah, that guy is it. Good. So this guy, I'm gonna do this really quick. And this is actually, so 7 minus 1.5 is 5.5. So that's actually the 5.5. So everything below 5.5 to 1 is what fits in here. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Did I get down to 9? I think I got down to 9.5 here. So we're still missing the next one down. Let's put these back in order. So these guys are all the ones that are not going to go in the inside here, which means that they all should all be plus 3. 11.5, yes. 11. 10.5. 10. 9.5. So this was 7. Yeah, this is 7, so this 7.5 has to go to 8, 9. And since obviously my brain's not working tonight, we're just going to go ahead and label these. Yeah, okay. So that's what I was a little concerned about because I was looking at the 7.5, and if I added 1.5, or I was looking at the 7. Yeah, because if I take 3 off of this, right, that takes me down to 6. Okay, and I'm at 5.5. Okay, no, I'm just being paranoid. That's all. That's a 6. And then we're 5.5. We can take this guy. He's the next biggest guy. And he has 5, and 6.5 on the outside is correct. Actually, I should just reverse these. Make my life easier. $4.5. Oh, there it is. Yeah. 5.5. Oh, there it is. In the middle. Three and 3.5. That guy. Guy. And that guy. And I appear to be short one. Unless I screw something up, which is always possible. 7, 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5. I am missing my 1mm. Okay. So that is that. Now, the last question I have is, I'm actually pretty sure that I was wrong about this guy. So let's swap you, so you are like everybody else. And let's just make you 7.5 instead. So if you are tangent, do that. Yeah, okay, so that fits in there. So that should be, actually no, because I should be able to fit one more. So you are now 8. Yes. Which does not make sense, because that says 6. That says 6. So that should be 6. There we go. Swap your colors. Rotate this around. there. And I should not be able to fit one more right here. So I think we're good at that point. So, I mean, I can double check it. We change you to 8.5. Tangent. Yeah, so I am just barely over. So I'm thinking of actually going with it. Because this just means that the distance from what's the best way to do it? If I draw two tangent lines, will that work? Actually, no, I should just draw a line from the center out to here. Put you on it. Draw a dot. Dot. Did I just quinky dink the wrong thing? I did. There we go. Then we draw a dot right there, and we take that to that. Yeah, so that's 2.75 wall instead of 3, which is barely noticeable. So actually, I can fit that guy too. So the next question is, how do we distribute this? I'm gonna start out. I can hit Control Z a whole bunch if necessary. I'm just gonna do this and wink and dink around here. This is the minimum space. When we find out that we can fit more, we will. This is, I mean, that we can spread out more, rather, we will. I'm pretty sure we can spread out more, but may as well just see what it looks like really quick. Okay, and we are actually really, yeah, we actually don't fit. So, I mean, it's one of those things. We can fit up here. That's fine. Let's see. How do I undo this? Basically, we can take these guys, these smaller guys. Delete, and I could have controlled Z like I mentioned before, but, you know. Too lazy to hit Control Z. So I can stack these guys. They fit, it looks like, above these next three. So I can just line up here, and then we can evenly distribute. So if we do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. So we got 10. 36 divided by 10 is 36. That is an easy one I can do. So I'm gonna do this. Let's see, circle pattern. Objects that, circles that, and we need 10. And that should be everything I need. So we can just do that. Start getting rid of these guys. Actually, that results in not having enough space. Interesting. So let's see, where do we... Okay. This is what we can do. I can... try this real quick. This isn't really right. I mean, it's really something like this. You know what, let's do this as a rough number. So by here, that is 7. And these guys are 6 on the outside, so we're fine there. So it's the first 4. The first 4 need to be tangented to each other. So let's go ahead and Control Z a bit. Alright, so the first 4 need to be tangented, it looks like. And then everything after that can be divided. So if I take this and this, tangent there, and this is 152. That's not right, is it? All right, this is 152 right there. Okay, so 152, 360 minus 152. Grab the calculator again. 360 minus 152 is 208. And for that 208, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, if I take... So I'm going to do a circular pattern. I'm just trying to rationalize. I think I can take this guy. Take that. Partial. 208. And I said 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let us... Where's the ones you're actually adding? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that includes the ends. So I gotta do this. Out of the way really quick. No? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so that should be evenly spaced if I do that. So we'll undo that guy. Hit OK. And then we break the winkydink here. And I guess there too. I don't know how they're ended up being two there. So go there. Ah, that's funny because that guy... So I guess I had that wrong. 1. Oh, unless I was supposed to go between. Because... I'm obviously not rationalizing this correctly. Yeah, so I grabbed the end of it. Alright, Control Z a couple times. So this one actually... that... Not circular pattern. That guy. Partial. And actually I needed something here. So is this supposed to be tangent here? Maybe this was supposed to be tangent here. Maybe that's where I screwed up here. I should have taken the ends and then divided the rest. Okay, let's do this instead. You, and 31. Okay. Get you guys lined up manually. We will figure this out. Oops. that, and delete that, and last guy. So, you are not in the correct place. There we go. So, spacing between here and here. Whoops, that is too many zeros. And actually, yeah, let's start out and get there, because this is a minimum. And then we'll grab this. Alright, so 33, let's call it. And we just make all this equal base. I saw it shift and I don't know why. Okay, cool. And this extra is what we have to make up now. Everything is equally spaced at 33, so we just start going. 34, 5, 36, 37. Whoops. Correct. 36.5. Alright, cool. There we go. Good enough. So, these lines, that lines, yeah. So remember when I said a couple minutes ago, maybe I was supposed to put a line through the first and last one instead of these guys? The first and last of the extra ones? So had I done that, I would have ended up with this, which is 177.5, and then this would have been distributed between these 4 lines. So, I kind of knew what I was doing, but I also evidently do not have the brain power at the moment to actually figure out what I'm doing. So, and there is that. Now we have these guys. These guys are the plus 3mm wall. So, let's go ahead and toss a 1.5 in here. Yeah, I guess. And then we can drop this back down. Actually, no. Yeah. If I do that, that's 1.5 on that side, 1.5 on this side, and we're good. Actually, no. I take it back, because in theory, this can get all the way to there. Yeah, correct. So, in theory, this can be right here, because all of this is below the, what you call it anyway? Below the center punch anyway. So, yeah. I am simply considering my options here. In theory, this could go over here, get closer to the center. I could try putting the rest of these around here, and we can go back to a circle instead of the square, because I already abandoned the whole entire pack in. So, we could abandon ship, go back to a circle. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. I'm looking at it and we don't really have enough gaps, I don't think, to really make this work. 9.53, yeah, that's 3. Alright, cool. These guys overlapping a little bit. I could swap that out for a guy that won't overlap. Maybe that guy, or at least will not overlap nearly as much. Still overlapping a little bit, so that's less than 3, but what is it actually? I mean, less than 0.5 millimeter, although maybe not exactly. Probably good enough. I actually did not mean that one. That was a little silly. Bump a dump bum, bump a dump 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 bow. So at this point, since we have this extra space, is there anything we want to do with that? I'm gonna go ahead and whoops, that is concentric. That is not correct. I'm gonna go ahead and, as I was gonna say, throw the overall circle in here so that we can see what we're working with. Let's see. So if I tangent on here, which one is actually the correct one to question? I don't lose anything. Yeah, see that one we cut in there. I think it may just be the first one, but I am playing around because if there's nothing else we've learned this stream, it's that after the Eagles win, I am evidently too tired to do anything. To think clearly. Okay. So it is the first one, as in previously anticipated. So that is my 1.5 minimum. I would then have another 1.5 here. Alright, there we go. So this is, well actually, yeah, I should leave that solid. So in theory, I have all this space to work with right here. I do have some spare bits. I got my 1mm, my 3s, and my 3.5s as spare bits right now. I could make just a general storage area that I could put larger any kind of bits rather in there. Just kind of pile them in there. So let's hop back to the camera real quick. So these are my spare bits. This thing, my 1mm, would do just fine, just tossed in there, right, as is, because it's significantly smaller than most bits. These guys, however, are square. What we could do is I could do pockets. I could figure out what fits in there, what size fits in there, and then just do a hole, and then however many of my spare bits fit in, and just leave it at that. That's an option. Actually, I kind of like that option. Yeah, alright. We'll go with that. Because that way I don't have to mix all the spare bits in between each other. For example, again, these are 3 and 3.5s, right? So having 3s and 3.5s mixed together is not ideal. That would allow me to keep them separate. So I think that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to fill the empty space with, with spare bit holes, and whatever fits in, fits in. They'll be unmarked because they're spare bits, and that's quite alright. So, in that case, I actually should, since I'm going to freehand this, I should throw in, let's see, yeah, well, actually, let's do it from here instead. So this is the 3mm mark, 3mm wall. Thank you, Fusion. There we go. So I can go ahead and make the hole straight to, all my holes straight to. Actually, I take it back. Because I have these 1.5s in here. These are all 1.5s, right? No, that's a 3 right there. Oh, actually, these 1.5s are wrong, aren't they? Because I'm an idiot, quite possibly. Because I'm an idiot. Yeah. Where is my measurement for this guy? That's the 31 right there. Where's my 13? Oh, 16. Okay. So, my problem here is that these tangents are off. Okay. Okay. That's fine. So, these two are, like, these four, rather, are too close together. These five are too close together, which means I'm going to have less space there. So, let's see. I guess what I need to do then is draw an extra circle in there, which is kind of annoying because I have my one. Actually, this is 1.5 right here on this side. That's 3 in there. I just turn this back to 13. Yeah, just turn this back to 13. And now I can change each of these to +3. So this is 10. 9.5. 9. So I'm hesitating here because when we get to this one, that's 8. Now the rest of this gets divided up, but do I actually have space anymore? I don't think I do. Yeah, I think I have to. Get rid of, might have to move one of these out to the outside. In other words, the biggest one. Because my ID got smaller because I took that away, which means that everything is closer and I have less space there. And then I added to the circumference around here, which means that chances are this guy right here gonna have to come out, and then we might be all right. So 7.5. Yeah, it's gonna be a mess with these guys on the outside. Right. So that's +3, so that guy's good. That this guy goes 7. And that. Whoops. And that's what I learned about when I was talking earlier about moving guys into position first. This guy, slide over. Uh, 6.5. Do. 6. Tangent. And now this guy is not fitting, which means we could pull him out. We actually could pull him out. So let's go ahead and do that. This is the tail end, so we can just drag these two guys out here and go from there. Let's get you on. Everything's moving because this guy is outside. How about you? Are you stuck? No. All right. Guys, all right. And set everybody back to the 3mm. 5.5. 4.5. That is funny. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, that's not right. That's supposed to be 5. There we go. I can maths. You are 4.5. Got here. 4. Drag you out. Okay. Here we go. Now, for all these other guys in here, whoops, you are still tangent. Just gonna do some quick guesswork just to make sure, or just to what you call it, save myself time. Untangent these guys. I'm pretty sure we can't move that guy too. I'll put one there just in case. But I'm pretty sure these guys are stuck. So 43. If we do that. It's close. Actually, that guy's close to being in this group. But he's 43.5 or something like that. 43.8. And I don't think that extra 0.3 will play nice in this area. So, I think that's actually where we're at right now. So, let us get these guys filled in. And then I'll come back in with the big guys on the outside again. You're just a random guy hanging out, right? Yes. And you are the smallest of my outside guys? You are. Okay. So, this is one of those deals where my biggest problem is packing this guy now. I think this guy goes in between here. I think that's the most accurate place for him. I don't think it's this one right here. It's one of those things, I'm pretty sure what it basically comes down to is back to gravity, like I said before. So maybe something like this guy goes right there would be the most correct. Extraneous dot. Just spot checking. Because the further I get out, right, is the what I've got. So for example, I did not explain that well. If I take a line right here, so back to gravity, right? So in theory, there is a circle that can fit between these two. But you see how big it is, right? And how far out it is? Whereas I can draw a smaller circle that is much closer in, but it doesn't touch those two, which is the problem right now. And I would prefer the smaller circle. I should, in theory, have the smaller circle, but which is why, you know, back to this guy maybe right here, this guy maybe right here instead. It's hard to say. At the end of the day, what I'm thinking is this is somewhat understandable going around like this, right? So chances are I should keep it logical rather than efficient and drop them starting from this side. What is wrong with you? There you go. So grab this guy, put him over here, and then one of those things, just make him fit. Why are you being difficult with me? Get out here. There you go. That's what I was looking for. So one of those things, I have this ugly gap right here is my problem. In theory, I could slide him over and fill that gap. And maybe that would be best instead of butting him up right against here. It's just hard to say, right? So long as I keep on going like this and butting everybody up tangent on this quote-unquote outside spiral, then at the very least that will leave me with my pockets for extra bits around the edge on this side. So this may end up being larger than I would like it, or than it could be. It could be that I could have a smaller container by packing these together better and still have some space for extra bits, enough space for extra bits without these gaps in here. But I don't know that I'm going to get there, honestly. Seems to me like it would take me a bit of time to figure that one out. So we are going to get these guys lined up in this kind of zigzag spiral fashion where we're coming in here and then going there and then going there, which is an interesting idea. You know, aesthetically at least it's interesting looking. But like I said, the biggest problem is that now I have a huge amount of space on this side. This actually looks like more space on the outside here than I had before, which is a little bit of a problem. Makes me a bit unhappy, but to be fair, actually, I did correct the wall thicknesses. So since I corrected the wall thicknesses, that's probably why I have more space at the end of the day. So let's see, this is my 31, right? Whoops, Control Z. That was not what I... Alright, let's get this 31 out of here. I'm trying to get you out to right there. Thank you. So that is my 31. That is to this circle right here. So I can delete that one altogether. This one, guess that was still off something else. All right, there we go. So this is my first circle off. That again will go off the biggest guy there, like we did before, and then this is a 1.5, and this is the outside of the case. Fusion, please. Thank you. All right, so now we get to put bit containers in. spare bit containers. Let's see. You know what? I think it makes sense to extrude this first. So, not the half inch. The half inch does not belong in the set. I believe this is my 10. It's a bit worn off, but I'm pretty sure this is. It is. So, the height, because I'm too lazy to open up the other CAD where I have it down, is 132. So, we're going to go minus 132. And they done, I think. Yeah, all right. So I am thinking at this point back to on my other design. And because the, what you call it? The, whatever like this thing is. Center punch. Because the center punch is 3mm and doesn't fit into these guys, I got to open these guys up from the bottom. And if I open up the 3mm, and then I can go ahead and, like I did before, put the 5mm pins in to make up the space. And the 5mm pins can have a 3mm hole underneath them, and they won't fall out, which will solve our problem. So, I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Whoops, sorry. My only question at this point is, how big do I make these bare? You know what? I guess I make them the full length. All right, fair enough. Let's first. Actually, what I should do is I should put a bottom on here. So let us this project that out, and for everything down to 3mm, we have a 3mm hole. Actually, down to 2.5. Actually, no. Everything should just have a 3mm hole. That's right. Yes. It just occurred to me that I should have made everything construction lines before I did that. It's okay, I'll correct. It also occurs to me that I now don't have the wall thickness that I should have had. Ugh. Okay. Back over here. So, we can't go below 3mm. in spacing, when spacing these guys out. So, actually, it's only this guy, which is going to push me off. So this guy actually should have been 3 plus 3 is 6. So that guy should have been 6. And I don't think that actually broke anything. So, just keep on going. 6. 6. 6. I'm not going to worry about that one. And that is the last one, right? Yes. Okay, cool. So we didn't really break anything, which is good to know. Okay, we can come back to this one. And we have all our circles filled in, I think. Looks like it. So, just click all the blue circles and make them equal to the black circle. Not an FPS gamer, for the record. And I just realized that we're still not out of the woods because we actually couldn't go below 5 millimeters. Because we need 5 millimeter rods underneath everything that's smaller. So, 5 millimeters 8. So this needs to be 8. That needs to be 8. That needs to be 8. Which means that net needs to be moved over. Tangent that. Eight. 8. Alright, so somehow all these extra lines I drew are broken. Don't know how. I've got a circle that is not concentric. That is also great. Alright, things are getting deleted. Alright, 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay. So everything's 8 now, so now we just need to declutter. Gonna tangent over and see what happens. Okay, so this guy is going to duck out here. The circle is no longer on center, it looks like, because so you come back out here. You come back out here. Actually, don't do that. So this is 4.54, 3, 5, 6, 6, 5, 7. All right, so that's where it wraps back around. So this is 2.5. So this is the back end. This is where we came back out to the outside. And then this 3 is going to have to leave the inner circle, it looks like. I don't think we can fit them. Already there. That's already there. Alright, yeah, so 3 does not fit anymore. So 3 has to come back out. And now the rest of these guys get spaced out evenly. That was 2 lines. Okay. So 49.5. See if this works. Actually, I don't know why I that. Okay, so we can afford a little bit more. 51. And I guess the point here is that yeah, okay, never mind. I was gonna say I should be able to just divide this and do the math by number of circles because we have an even distribution, whereas before we didn't. I don't know, man. If you got a problem with that, ask the numbers. Am I really going overboard here? Yes, maybe. Alright, we're gonna say that's good. Alright. So, funny thing is that now, as you can see, we actually more or less line up with the largest ones and the smallest ones. So we're like halfway is what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna really quick attempt to just line these up with quinkydinks, or tangents rather, not quinkydinks. Oh, your tangent there. Kinda should be able to come in here. Oh dear goodness. Okay. Let us remove that. Remove that. Not quite. Okay. Although, if I slide you over... Yeah, there we go. What if I do this? Then... the whole entire thing can spin, but nothing can get out of whack, right? Nope, things are getting out of whack. So, what is under construction? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's right here? No. Alright, I'm going to call that overthinking it, and we are going to move on. Although I am really curious. If I do this, does it lock up? It does. Okay, cool. And we didn't screw up any of our overlaps. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay. Tangent. Then... there we go, non-construction. And because we had that problem with the points earlier, I'm going to just make sure that I use concentric this time. And then this is 1.5. And we are back to business. You are still correct. You actually still have everything, even though I deleted that one line. I deleted the outside line previously, so I'm actually surprised that Fusion actually caught up. But I'm not going to look a gift horse in its mouth, so... let us hit OK. Oh, not visible. Okay. I thought it was saying that it lost references. Okay. We're fine. Alright, so this is my bottom. We'll just make that 3mm. And that can be a joint. Although maybe I want to toss this in here for safekeeping. Before I do that, next thing I'm thinking about is this right here. So that is the head of, yeah, alright, so it's overlapping these guys right here. If I want to slide these guys out, slide this guy out, that guy out, that guy out, that guy out, still fine. That guy out, that guy out. I don't think I'm going to break anything by doing this. But I'm thinking because these are all smaller, shorter ones here, the height of the head on this is 33. And the largest one we have there is 6.5. So I'm comparing a 6.5 to the 10mm, which I still have out here. And let's see if we can't actually locate 6.5. We did. Excellent. So 132 is what we knew. And this is 100, so that's 32. So we actually, 32 to 33 and 3/4. We're really close there. I'm going to write that down for good keeping. But my point is that we can take these guys and actually drop them down by that 33. So that the head is the same height as the 10mm one. This is my idea. So here, let me swap back to camera and we'll draw this out really quick. So what I'm talking about here is this is a side sectional view, okay? If I do this and we have our 10mm over here and then, you know, another big one right here, and in the middle we have all the small ones. Small. And then this is the countersink. Now the countersink is down level with the rest of these guys, and all the small ones are just pushed down. So that may actually be a good idea. The 6.5, so this is 33 for the head, and 6.5 was a difference of 100, right? Or of 32. That's right, it was of 32. It was 100 and the difference was 32. This is not the 6.5. You go back in the bucket. Alright, so come on, caliper. Definitely the calipers, it's not me. Yeah. 100.3. And this was 132 and a hair. Should just be 132. So, 132, 100.3. So I'm going to call that about 30, right? So we need to make up 3 because we can't just push it down. If we push it down 33, then it will be sticking out the bottom 3mm. But we should probably actually extend the bottom down something more like 4 or 5 just to give ourselves space. So I'm going to say +5. Then we'll be able to countersink the countersink the head into the And all I got to do for that then to accommodate that is move all these guys along this ring out. Actually, I don't need to move these guys out. Do I? I don't think I do. these guys are shorter to begin with than the 6.5. Again, the 6.5 being my smallest guy here. Which means that they could just be recessed down. So I could actually, it'd be a little bit of funny shape, but I could just cut this area out around like that. And then I only have to move the outside guys out. So let's do this. Slide you out. Oh, not do delete. Out. Out. Oh, actually, this at that point needs to be, what do you call it? Needs to be 32.5, right? Because I need the wall between where this is countersunk and the guys on the outside. Actually, 34. This should be 30. It doesn't really need to be 34, though. It only needs to be these guys around this edge. Again, I can ignore these guys right here, so I don't actually need the full size. So actually, we'll leave it at 31. And I will throw another line in just for these guys. And this will just be 1.5. And then these guys just need to line up with that. And that includes this guy at that point. And so far, these guys are all staying within the, within the outside line. It looks like this guy's not, but this is still wall right here, actually. Yeah, this is still extra space right here. So until this black line goes outside, we are technically still good. Technically. Yeah. So this is only 1.5 on this side, so technically speaking, we're a little shallow. But I'm pretty sure what's going to happen here is I'm going to get around to the 10mm one, and he's going to be pushed back out, and then he will kick everybody else all the way out. Or he will create the extra space, I should say, rather. Because this guy needs to slide out, and at that point, that's fine, right? Yeah. So then he comes out, and then I don't have to worry. Oh, that was the wrong line. Oh no, that is the right line. I just screwed up on this guy. Okay. Okay. There we go. Alright, and at this point, guys circle back around. The tangent there. Okay. So. The problem with this plan is that did just make this larger by a bit. This is at 63. Ah, shoot. Okay, you know what? This is still at 63mm, which is really not that big. I mean, here. We will hop over to camera for reference. Actually, hold on. Did I even... Is that really 63? I'm actually not believing that. Really? Huh. Okay, I mean, I guess it makes sense. So observe where this line is right here. Okay? This line that I'm making solid right here. Relative to the overall size. So, back to the camera now to demonstrate. Here's our 63-ish. I didn't exactly get it exactly on 63, but with the center punch right there, I mean, yeah, actually that makes sense. And I'm actually not going to cry about that. That is still a very small container. It is, again, going to be taller than this tall, but so it's going to be, and actually this is going to be hard for you to see from that direction, but length and width right here, length and diameter rather right here, plus a little bit. So maybe to the base of my middle finger there. About that. Just for reference. So that's the size that it looks like it's going to be at this point. Which, again, is a lot better than it looks like on the CAD. Now, the only question is... hop back into CAD. Do I want to rearrange these small guys? See, they're in a logical place right now. The problem is that this space right here isn't as useful. It'd be more useful to bunch these guys up and take up the space, which I think I might do. That way I have just a whole entire ring around the outside here to put spare bits. Yeah, I like that. Makes sense to me. So, let's start deleting quinkydinks. Or, not quinkydinks. Tangents. Why you stuck? Oh, there you go. So, you are going to be tangent there because you do come off of that guy. You're stuck because I have you on the quinkydink with that thing. That is why. Okay. So, you are going to wrap back this way to fill in this space. You are free right now, right? Yes, you are. And I'm actually going to do this, I think. Kind of zigzag, swig, swag, swivel. I was going to say swivel, and then it ended up being zigzag, which meant it was swig swag. Swiggity swaggity. Alright, there we go. And that looks a lot better to me. In terms of usable space on the outside here. So I'm very happy about that. Okay. And again, these guys right here can just be countersunk down a bit more to make room for that head. Okay. So that is all sorted. Let us go ahead and throw the pockets in now. So I'm going to... Actually, pockets and the countersink. That. And actually that should be fine. Be everything I need because I already get the circles for free. And let's turn that construction line off so you stop bothering me. So, these two guys right here, I'm going to toss in 1.5 and 1.5, and these should be 1.5 because these are radius, not, or, you know, they're the offsets, not the radius, or not the diameter. So, toss that in, and toss that in. And then the only question is, do I do this? I think that makes sense. And then this guy, actually I have this to here, but this really should be get the tangent in there. First off, if I take this straight to the center, it's below that line, so it should be somewhere in between, I think, unless I'm crazy. Let's do this. This is going to be solid, is the point that we're going for here, and then I'm just doing an extra cutout here for these two. Should I? Should I? Actually, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just make sure when I do the 5mm rods underneath these guys that the 5mm rods are 5mm shorter. That's actually probably the better idea. Although, actually, this does cut over top this guy. So this guy is going to have to... But this guy can just sit further down to... I mean, in theory, he should just be able to sit further down into the hole. But he's kind of small. He is a... What is this? Yeah, 1.5 millimeter. So that's going to be easier said than done. So he probably should be included. Here. Okay. And then, again, this guy. One of those things. In theory, it should be... Actually, I guess... Because he's on this side... Yeah, okay, never mind. Because he... I feel like this isn't quite right, but... I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, so... So I still countersink this the 33 millimeters. Wait, am I on the wrong side? Am I going crazy? Oh no, that's... I just ended up on the origin. This is top. Oh, this is top. So I actually extruded backwards. Okay, timeout. Finish sketch. Come back here. Hold up. Wait a minute. Here's top. Extrude down correctly. And then, when I did this, this guy was supposed to be bottom. Okay, that guy was supposed to be on the bottom. Good thing I didn't use him for references yet. And then this extrusion was supposed to be bottom. -3. There we go. That's better. And now, I guess I gotta fix this. Okay. It's an easy enough fix. Not that worried about it. Project. Okay. Look at it. Bodies. Project off of this. There's my 13. Okay. And then these two guys were my test subjects. All right, cool. Now, -33. Okay. And that might end up being a little... Now that I'm looking at it, getting the drill bits out of there. Because, especially this guy, back to this being... it says 0.75, so that'd be 1. Yeah, so that's the 1.5 guy. And the 1.5 guy, this is a 1 millimeter over here. So let's... That's a 2 millimeter. That's definitely a 3 millimeter. Is that my 1.5? Looks like 1.5. Again, and this is why I need a case for the 13th time this stream. Nope, that's 2mm. That's another 2mm. So it's possible that I broke my 1.5mm and forgot to replace it. These are 1mm ones, right? Yeah, these are definitely. Alright, so I may not have a 1.5mm right now to check the length, but the 1mm, point being, is 33.5. So back to when I push this up, assuming that the head of the 1.5 is even with that, it's only going to be 1 to 2mm above the edge right here, which could make it a little difficult to get. Also, I can only push the length of the center punch, which is 27. So it will not get above that edge. So given that it will not get above that edge, funny thing is that I'm looking at this right. Let me just go tangent really quick. What is this difference right here? That's 2.3. Okay, it looked pretty close to 3 to me, which is what I was getting at. But being as it's not, I mean, 2mm is probably all right, right? Yeah, you know what? So we will go ahead and leave that guy out of the equation. Gonna make this parallel to that guy and call it a day. And honestly, actually, should I actually make this larger than that? This is the 3mm. Yes, it's the 3mm. 3mm is these guys. These guys are about. Well, actually, it doesn't matter because no matter how tall they are, again, I'm only pushing up the 2.75 of my center punch. So given that's the fact, my idea was going to be to make this larger right here. The problem is that chances are, if I give my check what my clearance is here, 5 and 1.5, and then just go tangent to that. This should be 1.5 or alright, so that's 2.5, which doesn't make terribly much sense, but okay. Because that's 4 there at that point. And in theory, this should have been tangent here. I went up here, right? I went up like this. What happened with the layout on these guys? So anyway, this is what I was looking at doing, as you can see right there. I can delete this. That's what I was looking at doing in order to get some room to grab the, what you call it, because it will only be up to here. Which is the same, it applies to all these guys too, at the end of the day. So I'm trading convenience here for compactness. So I'm making the canister 33 millimeters shorter, a little over an inch, about 1.5 inches. No, more like 1 3/8, something like that. I'm making it 1 3/8 ish shorter by recessing the head in here, but because the center punch does not actually reach as deep as this head is, for that reason, I'm not going to have an easy time grabbing the pins out, grabbing the drill bits out, rather. it's probably not as bad for these guys in the center of the circle because I have all the extra space around them. You know, I have this whole entire center area to some extent. But for this guy right here, who's kind of a victim of the system, that is going to be more of a problem. So, let me come back here then. In that case, we'll just take this guy out of the running. So, start deleting some of these so we can boom. Delete that. Delete these two, or these three, I guess. And now, if I drag these guys out of the way, drag him up, now it's not a problem. Now we just that. There's my 3. And I'm gonna slide this around. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on this line like this. Now at this point. And then we just gotta declutter. So 3, 2.5, 2. So these guys really need to swap places. I will delete that one there. This 1.5, are you? Yeah, you're only connected to that guy. That's drag you guys out here. This whole entire line. Attempt to drag this out because this guy really should. Then we can move you back down. All right. Somehow we ended up with less space here. I only pulled one guy out of here, and somehow we ended up with less space. I guess what I should have done is instead of having this tangent to here, let's delete these tangents to the outside world so I can start flip-flop. The 3mm probably should have been up here. You down here. You up there. That doesn't seem to be saving me. Hoping that was gonna. Yeah, if I start pushing this way, it's just gonna get there. So, okay, but I'm just going in line right here. So, do is that to that up, then hope to fit these guys down here. Yeah, these guys don't really fit down here, do they? Because if I put that guy there, that guy's gonna have to be. And then this guy down here, that guy down there. Yeah, it's not really saving us much room trying to stack it like that. Alright. I guess that's my life at this point. Funny how it stacks so much better the other way. But I had to make space, so we can ignore that. Come back over here. Get rid of that one. Cool. Guys, no more. Fish. Alright. Alright. The So the one thing I suddenly just got concerned with is this head is going to be recessed in. So to pull it out, I'm going to basically just have my fingertips right there, because this circle, it's not like flat enough on the edges. The difference between the width here and the diameter here is not gonna very much for me to get my fingers into the hole and pull this out. So I'm just throwing that out there. That's not great. The other thing is this my 31? This is my 30. Boo boo boo. So I'm gonna have to toss an offset in there. I guess, well, we're gonna have to toss offsets in everywhere with, but alright. This guy. Okay, we did establish that the overall height of the center punch is shorter than the 10mm, so I don't have to worry about that. I did say that the 6mm is gonna have to add distance to the bottom because of the 6mm. Let me just double check that I'm correct about that. So in there and there, yeah, that's 102, and the 6mm is 100, right? A little over 100. Actually, if the 6mm is a little over 100, 6.5 rather, a little over 100, then that does fit in there. Oh, that's right. That is not including this right here. This right here, not there. This right here. That's 3mm, so we're at 99 right now. So this is going to be minus 135. And then that will... Okay. Blue. To match the other one. I will probably put... I was thinking I would probably put... the... I'm just trying to think here, because this actually gets a little wonky putting the 5mm rods in there. Yeah, all right. So, what I was gonna say is, I was thinking I'm gonna put the sizes on the bottom, especially because since I'm gonna be taking the center punch and using that to push through, I'm gonna be able to look at where I'm pushing the center punch through in order to get the correct size. So that only comes up because of, you know, trying to fit sizes in here, like in between here, trying to get all the sizes to match in there. It will be easier on the bottom where there's not stuff in the way. So I did want to get this all done today, but it took me a heck of a lot longer just to get this stupid body done here, and we're still not even done the body. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna call it for the night, and when we come back, I'm gonna have the drill bits in here. Let me shrink that. I'm going to go ahead and put the drill bits in here and line them all up with the holes. That way when we come back, I can insert or I can do the cuts and insert in the 5mm rods, which will get the majority of the body done. And then from there, all we really have to do is add in this pocket right here, or these pockets right here for extra bits, and add a cap on so that nothing falls out. So that is the plan for next session. That shouldn't take as long. Honestly, what's going to take a bit more time is getting these drill bits into here and lined up. So, since I can do that off camera, I will. And tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and just commit to tomorrow. We'll go ahead and plan to finish this up. Again, should not be that long. Should hopefully not be 2 full hours. Oh, are these all stacked together? Oh, they are all stacked together. That's going to be fun. I guess it's not that bad because I can just take from the largest to the smallest. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. As I mentioned on Wednesday when we did our last stream, I hadn't had many major plans for projects to work on. I have some offline plans for a larger project that I want to get done, but that's going to be a video rather than a stream. And I have plenty of other videos that I need to get edited, as I keep on saying. So that is why streams, in theory, are going to just be once a week. This one's going to be twice a week because, or twice in 1 week, I should say, just because we didn't get this one done. And chances are the stream that happens next weekend will also be a shorter stream, and I'll just keep it to the small things, the small organizers that I mentioned on the last stream. This one came up just because I was working on... Oh, I never showed you guys that. Let me pull that up. I was working on and getting it. I had it prepped right here. This is my thumbnail plus extra stuff here, for the record. Congratulations, you have viewed my... But I got this put together. This is what we designed last stream. This is the tool rack for the Carvera. I was getting this put together, and it's one of those things. Finding my 4, 6, and 10 millimeter drill bits in the pile, I was like, you know what? I really should have had this organized. Whatever. We're here. So, it is together, for the record. In case you missed that last stream, we designed all these holders. I made some minor tweaks to make them a little bit better in a couple areas. For example, the book clips in the back, I decided needed a better bell mouth for the books to slide into. Plus, as I mentioned last stream, I considered changing the thickness on the spring that holds them together. I did that as well. I also made it so that all of the holders that have a top or bottom orientation, so anything other than these guys that get hooked either to face or to the underside, and this guy. And so anyway, basically what it boils down to is all the boxes now have either a top or bottom configuration, because, for example, the dust filter I was originally going to put right here, and we had this so that it was hanging off the bottom. However, I ended up putting the the solder mask rack in the back right here. And at that point, I couldn't put that there, so I had to redesign that. Since I was redesigning that, I made variations for all of these boxes. I also redesigned the magnet bar here. I'll go into details on the stream how that works, why that happened, and I do have the previous design saved in case you want it, and I will be distributing that. And I also have a third version of the magnet bar, just in case. This, however, is the one I will be using, but just in case you would like a third version, I do have a third version. And otherwise, yeah, that should be all the changes. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to do the full, I'm just waiting, basically, I need to get to work and grab myself an offcut right here because I made up some secret extra containers that I didn't tell you guys about, that I'm going to at least demo. I won't be using them. So I wanted to have that to record the video with, and then I made 2 more variations, only one of which works right now, for the under the machine bit holders. The under machine bit holders. I made one good design that works, and another that I would like to take one more crack at before I give up on it. So those are the things that are holding me up, those 2 items. Getting the third version up and running here, and getting the crossbeam to demonstrate with on the top here. And then I will do the video and release the video and the STLs. And yeah, I believe that is everything I need to cover before we sign off here. As usual, 20-minute ramble at the end of the video is now over. thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great and wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world, and I'll catch you later.